All right, today is Saturday. You know what that means. That means Bitcoin's probably going to act like a crab today, waiting for traditional finance to open up the futures market on Sunday and then the US markets to open up Monday before I do believe we'll see more volatile price action. Not to say there isn't a chance we do make a move this weekend since it is easy to move price with lower volume, but if we do get a move this weekend, I would assume it's going to be a false move. Usually when most of the times you do swing up or down on the weekends, it's just grabbing liquidity to bring it back into the median. And assuming they do something like that, we could see this low potentially get broken here on Bitcoin, very short term. That would actually be kind of bullish. If this happened during the weekend, you would know, hey, that's probably a false move to the downside, and that reclaim is going to be extremely bullish, especially if we do get, 1 hour, 4 hour bullish divergences on our RSI, because that's one thing we didn't have as a confluence for this low. Usually I know I want to see that if I'm going to take a long, so that would be cool to see, but we don't even need to break this to get that 1 hour bullish divergence, because this is a wick right here. As long as you just close some candles down below this level on a 1 hour time frame while maintaining a higher low on the RSI, that would be a nice bullish divergence right there. So we don't even have to actually break this wick. I kind of do actually expect this scenario to happen. Just, a simple pullback to the golden pocket, just like this makes a lot of sense to me before heading on up. And then we got swing high, swing low. Golden pocket right here, and what we want to see here is this get flipped back into support. So a small rejection off of this to start makes some sense. We could go back down to the 382 here, and then something like that, assuming we do get a rejection up here at the point of control golden pocket, which I would expect. Like, we're gonna probably find some resistance here. I don't expect it to just break right through. When this does happen, you'll just want to keep pulling your fibs, and you want to make sure this golden pocket gets held. So this makes a lot of sense, right? Come up, tap that, come back, test this range, value area high, something like that, before heading on up. And I do fully expect something like this to play out, because that 618 in the golden pocket is a mathematical probability. That's why we use those fibs. So that's that on this edge identifier template. Now we're going to go over to the level identifier, where I have fair value gap, session volume profiles, order blocks, vector candles, essentially all your imbalance and volume levels that we can have on a chart. And you can see on our daily volume profile, these are those blue lines that come across here. We are in a very tight range on the day, not much volatility here. So like I was saying, it's the weekend, so swinging out of this range to widen that profile makes a lot of sense. And then coming back in as a backtest or deviation is kind of what I expect. So break to the downside, come back in, form a deviation within the range, or maybe break out to the upside and then come and actually back test the range as support. We have this massive fair value gap vector candle on a 1 hour time frame. This is a massive imbalance that can act one of two ways, right? We can come up into this, fail the level, and then come back, deviate back into the range. Or if we start closing candles within this, it is likely to teleport through, closing back up above this fair value gap. So in my opinion, as soon as we can break through this range and then actually confirm a back test and then start rising up once again, this is where we are just going to send to the upside. This will go very fast. We should fill this as fast as we came down. That's usually how these vectors get filled. And then to the downside here, you can see we also have a fair value gap right here, as well as a whole bunch of order blocks from this previous low. So this is going to act as big support, if we were to get that secondary sweep into that fair value gap, or even retest of these order blocks. That would be taking liquidity from this wick as well back here. So this is something that could happen, but honestly, I think this wick right here is going to hold. Probably gonna, just pull back, golden pocket, back test or something like that. This could even be a potential long position. I've been saying it's sketchy to take longs all throughout this move, but I think we're finally getting to a point where, as long as you got good risk to reward, you're putting your entry here and you're putting your stop right here, you should be good as long as you're risking an amount that you fully expect to lose, and you're not going to be upset if you lose the money whatsoever. And jumping over to trading light now, this is another way we can look at those imbalances, are the single prints on the TPO profile. Essentially, this is fast price movement of our last daily session. So these levels can act as resistance, and we are seeing orders trying to limit in at the top of the single prints here. You can see 500 Bitcoin, a ton of limit orders in the order books right now. Usually you're not seeing this much volume on Binance, so interesting to see. We do have tons of volume on both sides, buyers in the order books and sellers in the order books. Just a whole bunch of supply and demand right now on leverage looking to fill positions. We have all these bigger walls, I guess, expecting a larger sweep, or they could just be spoofs. We also have new walls appearing around the 66K sweep level, well over 1,000 Bitcoin trying to get limited in around this level here. Do I expect these walls to get filled? No, I really don't expect us to even make a new low down here, but if we did do that, we have 400 Bitcoin right there looking for that sweep. So like I said, more likely than not, we hold this wick. If not, we could sweep it, but I don't expect it to be a very violent sweep. I don't expect any of this stuff down here to get swept. Nope, I think that's going to be left alone until Bitcoin is fully topped and we go into the bear market. Then, of course, you'll fill all that stuff eventually, and I actually do think we will top out sooner than most think. I'm seeing the narratives pop up again. $1 million Bitcoin by the end of 2025. I'm telling you, that's not going to happen. It's going to be, maybe six-figure Bitcoin by the end of 2024, but I do expect the top to actually come in, later on this summer into election season. So just throwing that out there, and we might as well cover all the walls here. We're also seeing a couple thousand Bitcoin being limited in, from around 72 to 73 too. These orders are at a very good level in my opinion. This is where a lot of liquidity is that needs to get grabbed. So we could see price swing up into here and see a pullback from the 73.2 level before grabbing the highs, right? So that's a big level to watch. Could be a potential short or something, but any highs that are formed within here are still bad because we need to squeeze through 74K. So I'm not saying any macro tops are going to come in before we do break all-time highs. Like I said in my last video, all of this needs to get swept, and I have no reason to believe it wouldn't actually be bullish, and instead of swing failing it and deviating, Wyckoff up thrust after distribution, some sort of bearish pattern playing out. While that's still a possibility, I have no reason to believe this can't actually just backtest into support and we rip on up to $100,000 plus. But we're not going to be moon boys because this could also just swing fail and we could form some sort of bigger Wyckoff distribution in this area before failing or something like that. This is kind of what my base case is, squeezing up into higher levels to get everyone really bullish, but not quite going to prices that people want, such as $200,000 Bitcoin plus. We could even front run 100K because a lot of people are going to be betting on this psychological level. They're not going to want to sell to 100K. So what if the market just front runs it, right? And we have a top before $100,000, and that way everybody gets left holding the bag, waiting for that psychological number, and then price dumps from there. That is something we're going to be watching out for on the charts, but we got to take it day by day. There's no reason to plan for, where am I going to sell? Am I going to sell at $80,000? Am I going to sell at $150,000? No, you just got to take it day by day. The price action of Bitcoin, and especially altcoins and meme coins, retail euphoria, that sort of thing, that will let you know when the top is in. We don't need to be trying to predict the future. But enough of Bitcoin talk. Let's jump into Total 3, the altcoin market, real quickly. We are seeing price come into this wick now, which is good to see, right? Filling these wicks is good before heading on up. This is a simple swing low, swing high, golden pocket back test, and we have actually not made it down to that golden pocket. We are finding support on the 0.5, which is even more bullish. So yeah, I would not be worried about your altcoins at all right now. As long as we can hold this golden pocket, there is absolutely nothing bearish on the charts. If anything, this looks like a great buying opportunity right before we do start the final parabola of the altcoin market, where we do potentially send to new highs on Total 3. And I can almost guarantee you this is bullish right now, because just like we had all of these poor lows in here, we have even worse highs. These highs are all at the same level, meaning that there is tons of liquidity built up behind all of those wicks, and it is almost a guarantee that we are going to squeeze up past this, get back above this golden pocket once again, and I'm fairly convinced this next break of the golden pocket is in fact going to hold, and we are going to backtest that into support, and that is where you see the altcoin market absolutely teleport to the upside. And this right here very well might be your last opportunity to buy any of those altcoins before this gets back tested and you disappear into price discovery for all of those risk on assets. I think that's a good place to leave the video off. If you do have any questions about anything I talked about in this video, or just want to join the community for this channel, link to my Discord is in the description down below. Also running a promotion with Blowfin right now. If you sign up to their exchange using my link below, you can get up to a $300 futures deposit bonus if you are a trader. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.